My name is Evan Kirkham, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Outlier. First of all, just wanted to welcome you back to an NBA season. Last NBA season was awesome for us and for our users. A ton of people finding really great value on Outlier and executing that on all of our sportsbook partners. So we're super amped to hop back into the NBA season. We had games going last night. My Mavericks blew out the Spurs, which was cool to see. But the point of this video is actually to just give you another kind of walkthrough overview of our NBA product. And I'm going to try to keep it pretty high level. But the idea is that at the end of however long this video is, hopefully pretty short, you have a better idea of how to research and find value for NBA props on the app. So I'm actually just going to hop right into it. And we're going to start here on the Insights tab. Importantly, I'm looking at the web app right now, which is what you're seeing. But all of this same information, structured roughly the same way, is available on our iOS app as well. So first, let's start with the insights. This is what our users love. They come in and they are able to read plain English insights. They give them a hint of where they can find value for tonight's games. So on the very top of the insights tab, you can see all sorts of filters. You could filter by the insight type, team or player. You could look for a specific player. You could look for a specific game, a specific team, long or short odds, etc. Let's actually just go ahead and sort by, I don't know, a game. So let's say we want to look at the Suns and Lakers game for tonight. I'm going to apply that filter. Immediately, you're seeing all of the insights for the Suns and Lakers game. Right away, I see one that's actually pretty interesting to me. Look at this. Tyus Jones has exceeded 8.5 rebounds plus assists in 10 of his last 11 games. It's actually a pretty good streak, 10 of the last 11. If you cared to count the little red and green tick marks here, there are 10 green and 1 red, 10 of his last 11. And of course, I can see that the best odds are on Bet365 at minus 125. If I want to research the bet further, I can click this little graph icon and we'll see everything we need to see about Tyus Jones going over 8.5 rebounds and assists. So the first thing you'll probably notice are these big green and red hit rate charts, right? This gives you a great idea of how Tyus Jones has performed going over 8.5 rebounds plus assists in his last 5 games, his last 10 games, his last 20 games, head-to-head against the Lakers, all of this season, 1 game, and all of last season. Let's just go with last 10. What I'm going to do next is show you our game scripting filters. These are super cool and are actually very easy to use. Look at this button over here that looks like 3 little sliders. If I click it, I can do all sorts of filtering. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying, here's what I think the conditions for tonight's games are going to be. Tonight's game is going to be. And how does Tyus Jones perform under those conditions? So let's see just away games because the Suns are on the road. And let's see games without, I don't know, Bradley Beal because it looks like he's a game time decision. And let's see when Tyus Jones is coming off 1 day of rest, which is currently the case. And let's see when the Suns lose by 1.5, which is the line for tonight's game. Those conditions have happened 10 times, and Tyus Jones has hit that line 7 out of 10 times. So actually, this is a pretty interesting prop. If I go down further, I can see, what happened in these games where we only had five assists to rebounds or 6 assists to rebounds. What's going on there? Well, I can see the supporting stats in line. So I can see, okay, what about potential assists? How about rebound chances? How about the number of minutes he played? Look at this. He played fewer minutes than normal in those games. What about the fouls? Did he get into foul trouble? How about his offensive versus defensive rebounding splits? The idea here is that to the extent that there's an outlier in the hit rate chart, I can try to find an explanation for that outlier. So I'm still liking this prop. But let's go over to the far right-hand side here where we can see matchup, injuries, and insights. So first, I'm going to look at the matchup details. So Tyus Jones is a point guard, right? Let's look at point guards. How do the Lakers perform against point guards with respect to rebounds and assists? Well, check this out. The defensive rankings are green, meaning that the Lakers give up the 23rd most rebounds to point guards and the 20 most assists to point guards. These are 2 favorable matchups for Tyus Jones, so I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Of course, if I go down further, I can see the offensive versus defensive ranks. How do the Suns rank against the Lakers, offense versus defense? I can see team records to the extent I care. I can even see where the public betting in is. So where are the most bets Where is the most money, right? This is actually really useful when considering player props. Here I can also see the injuries. So these get pumped in every 30 seconds from RotoWire. Doesn't look like, again, we've looked at this Bradley Beal injury. To the extent that we have data from RotoWire, to the extent that they've published a report, we have the full report here. So for instance, we can say that this particular player won't play Friday, and of course we get the full analysis from RotoWire. One other thing worth mentioning here is I can change the line. So right now we have Tyus Jones over 8.5 rebounds and assists, but I could easily say, let's see it over 9, or let's see it, over 9.5, right? And you can see the line is moving up on the hit rate chart. But let's actually just keep it at the 8.5 because that's the consensus line. I could also easily switch to Tyus Jones points or first quarter points or first half points or assists. It's all right there. Again, we'll stick with rebounds and assists for the moment. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my bet slip. The next thing that you might want to look at is our prop finder. The prop finder is really exciting, and this is where a ton of the action happens. So just for tonight's NBA games, there are over 11,000 props available. That is an insane amount of props and would be pretty difficult for to sort through without using Outlier. So what I'm going to look at here is what about propositions? What kind of props are available? Okay, so blocks, I could sort by double doubles, fantasy score, first half fantasy score, etc. I could look at a particular player, like I just want to look at Tyus Jones, for instance. I could look at a particular game, over under, really long odds or really short odds, odds with really high hit rates. And in fact, that's actually how I currently have the list sorted, as by last 10 hit rate. So what I'm seeing here is that, let's take an example. I don't know. Davey. Let's see. Let's find someone else. Trying to find some good value here. Okay, how about Scoot Henderson here? All right, so we're seeing basically even odds on his over 22.5 PRA. But check this out. In the last 10 games, again, we're getting even odds. But in the last 5 games, he's hit that line 100% of the time. In the last 10, 100% of the time. In the last 20, 80% of the time. Now, I could research this further if I liked, or by just clicking the line here, or I can click the plus button and add it to my picks. Now, let's see what my picks is all about, right? So I can see where they're available. 2 of 2 on FanDuel, 2 of 2 on DraftKings, 2 of 2 on Caesars, 2 of 2 on MGM, 2 of 2 on 365. I can pick the book that I am most interested in. In this case, I like Bet365, and click Add to Bet Slip. What that's going to do is it's actually going to move me into Bet365, populate my bet slip with those 2 picks, and allow me to execute immediately. Of course, there's tons more feature sets here. We could look at individual games. If you're a pro subscriber, we could even look at where the positive expected value is across NBA games tonight. We could see which odds are boosted under the Boost tab. We could see where there's arbitrage opportunities in the Arbitrage tab, or where you can take those kind of fun lottery ticket, low downside middle bets. So that's our NBA product in short. There's obviously tons more here, but I wanted to keep the video short. If you have any questions, you can obviously hit us up in our in-chat support or on Twitter, or hop in our Discord and ask us questions there. But the hope is that by using Outlier, you'll have a really solid leg up when you're placing NBA bets this season. Thanks for watching, and chat soon.